Alex Pereira has always been one of the scariest fighters in the UFC, but the recent trash talk and change in demeanor is a big tell that he's scared and probably going to lose the rematch. Let's get into it. Pereira's aura has been his biggest weapon throughout his career. He built his reputation on silence and just pure stoicism. He carved out his own lane. He wasn't a trash talker, didn't have a flashy personality, just straight up cold, stoic, and scary. And fans like myself respected this about him. He didn't need to talk to sell his fights. He would just show up to the press conference, say one word, Shama, and then would put on these absolute masterclass performances. So I gotta ask, what's changed? It's very clear that the first Ankalaev fight was the big turning point in the downfall of Alex Pereira's mentality. Not only did the UFC not want to give Ankalaev a title shot, neither did Pereira. Call it what you want, say he didn't deserve it or that he's a boring fighter, but it's really because we all knew that Ankalaev was a nightmare matchup for Pereira. Prior to that first Ankalaev fight, Alex had only fought pure strikers throughout his UFC career, and I think this was perfectly carved out by the UFC to get him to a title. Ankalaev was the first fighter that posed a big wrestling threat, which as we all know is Alex Pereira's biggest weakness in his MMA game. In the build up to that first Ankalaev fight, we could see the shift in demeanor from Alex Pereira. Like I said, he's usually quite stoic and cold and just has an unfazed aura around him. But at any mention of Ankalaev, he became quite avoidant and dismissive and clearly uncomfortable. And then once he lost the belt in that first fight, the excuses started to flow out. He came away from that fight dismissing Ankalaev's performance and rather putting it on his own lack of preparation and coming in with injuries. Which, to be honest, man, it's never a good look when a fighter does this. So now the trash talk has started. This is Alex Pereira's evil arc. It's not even an evil arc. I think it's just a scared arc. And this is coming from a legit Alex Pereira fan. Bro, when I'm at the gym sparring, me and the boys were always doing Alex Pereira mannerisms. Before we start the spar, we're always like, Shama, Adesanya, Unabon, I'm sure you guys have seen the footage of the past couple of days of Ankalaev and Alex Pereira trash talking in what seems to be a hotel lobby. It's extremely awkward and unnatural to watch because they're both just standing there with Google Translator, going from Portuguese to English to Russian, and then all the way back just to get their trash talk across. It's very clear that neither of these guys are good at trash talk, and it's also just not their style, man. And if you watched Alex Pereira's YouTube video, there was also a part where Alex was just going off at Ankalaev and calling him names. And this for me is a big tell as to where his mentality is going into this rematch. In the past, he has respected all of his opponents, even when he absolutely disliked them. But now for an opponent who is arguably his toughest test, we are just getting blatant disrespect, dismissiveness, and mockery. This is the end of Shama, man. This is classic fighter psychology. When a fighter senses a big threat and is scared, they respond with aggression. This is just the way that fighters are. It's a defense mechanism. I could go further into this, but I'll use other examples to explain what I'm talking about. Take the build up to Merab versus Umar as a great example of this. We all know Merab is this very positive, humble, and respectful guy, especially in the lead up to fights. But when he faced Umar, we saw a completely different side of him. He became unnecessarily hostile and very clearly rattled. So what was the difference in this fight? It was because Merab knew that Umar was the biggest threat in his division, and in my opinion, was very clearly scared of Umar. It was a very similar situation to this Ankalaev build-up where he was avoiding Umar at all possible costs until the UFC forced his hand to take the Umar fight. Even though he won that fight, it was clearly his toughest test yet. The whole build up to that fight was, hey, you have to be a man. Umar would literally just be sitting there smirking, not saying anything to him. If you need another example of this, it was Charles versus Islam Makhachev. Again, with Charles, we always know him as this very humble, respectful, and just jolly fighter. But in this build up, he was the complete opposite. He turned into evil Charles, started trash talking, and was very clearly on edge. Again, because he knew Islam was his toughest test and that he was most likely going to lose this fight. It's a very clear pattern here. When a fighter knows they are going to lose, they become extremely rattled and start trash talking. So why does this matter for Alex Pereira right now? This isn't just your regular trash talk. This is blatant insecurity pouring out. He's never acted like this before. I think we've heard him speak more in this build-up than we've ever heard him speak in his entire UFC career. And I think the fact that he's doing it in the build-up to this Ankalaev rematch just screams fear. If he wasn't worried at all and came into this fight confident, he would be his usual stoic and calm self. But nah, man, that stone face is starting to crack. So my on-the-spot prediction right now, Alex Pereira is going to lose this fight by dominant fashion. The aura he once had of being this terrifying stoic fighter is gone. It's a shame because Alex Pereira has been one of my favorite fighters in the UFC for so long, but this flip of character, it's just not a good look. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with my take? Make sure you guys do drop a like on this video and make sure to subscribe, man. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.